Ainhoa, Garcia, Jimenez. Get the best, don't settle for less. Ainhoa, Garcia, Jimenez. You're living a life that's truly blessed. Ainhoa, Garcia, Jimenez. I'd vote for you if you were running for prez. Ainhoa, Garcia, Jimenez. You're one of a kind, don't ever forget. 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 Would you look at the time? It's time to break some bread.
Hello everyone out there. I'm attorney Brian Tierney. This is Breaking Bread with Brian. You gotta enjoy the finer things in life. That's why I'm here today at this lovely restaurant with this lovely guest. We're here today at Mable's Table. It's right here in Chicagoland, Illinois in the 60622. I want to say thank you to Anthony for letting us break bread here today. Looks like a lovely restaurant. I can't wait to try the food. As always, the man behind the camera is Renee Costa from Full Bars Media. If you want to take your marketing next level, you need to talk to Renee Costa from Full Bars Media. I'm here today with Ainhoa Garcia Jimenez of Realty of Chicago. She's passionate, she's dedicated, she's here working hard for her clients all the time. Ainhoa, how are you?
Thank you so much, Brian, for inviting me today to break bread with you. It's such an honor, and this is a lovely restaurant as well, so I'm glad you're gonna try it. And yeah, I can wait to share with you whatever you want to ask me.
Sounds good. Thank you very much for joining me. You're a true professional. I appreciate you coming out today and recommending this lovely restaurant.
Likewise.
It's funny, for as long as we've known each other, I don't think we've ever actually sat down for a full meal. Is that right?
No, we just grab bites in the parties and kind of like walk around at the same time and talk and yeah. But sitting down, a meal, no, I don't think so.
I don't think so either, and that's why I was super excited. I'm like, it's for as much as you interact with somebody, as much as you see them, as much as you know them. Like you said, we've been probably at events and we'll be eating hors d'oeuvres or having lovely drinks with lovely people. And we just never got the chance to sit down, but hopefully this is a first of a few, and I'd like to say many, because it'd be cool to just sit down, chat, do a little sushi and strategy sesh or something like that.
I like that.
I mean, sushi, like, I never liked it when I was younger. I never really ate it.
Me neither. Well, I never knew about it. In Spain, there is no sushi. Well, now it is, but when I was younger, and first of all, I didn't have money, and second of all, there was no sushi available, but now it's all over the place, but I learned to like it here.
So are you responsible for bringing sushi to Spain? Like, did you literally bring the whole concept over there to them?
No. It happened while I was here. It kind of like started picking up on things, or maybe it was even there. I just didn't know because I didn't have the possibilities to just hang out with friends and go for dinner. I was younger and I didn't have money for that. Sushi can be expensive, right?
It can be. It certainly can be, depending on where you go. Like the places I go, like the last Breaking Bread with Brian, we were at Nuevo Vallarta out in Berwyn, and they have sushi there too, and it's Mexican sushi.
And the warm ones, have you tried them?
Yes.
Very good. Very good.
Very good. And you know what was disappointing when we did the last one? The sushi preparation chef was not there yet. Oh. So like I was hoping to get that, but
so it looked like a burrito, but it wasn't. No?
Well, what the sushi?
You didn't have it.
We didn't have it. They were the person who prepares it was not there yet until later on in the day, and I had no idea because that was one of the main reasons I wanted to go there. I just had this craving for sushi, and the thing was, when I grew up, I didn't even know what sushi really was. Like, I'm like, yeah, I think it has something to do with fish, I didn't know what was in it. I haven't seen, I've had it raw before or like seared, which is really good too. But I didn't really have the rolls. And those were the ones that was like, they were always intriguing to me because they looked appealing, they looked tasty. I'm like, what are all those cool ingredients they're putting in there? So a client and I had went out to a sushi house, I don't know, a year or two ago. And I said, you know what? I'm going to broaden my horizons. I'm just going to give it a try, right? It's like if you've never tried something, you're kind of like, do I try it now? Am I going to be satisfied with that? But I want to leave the restaurant kind of full. I want to know that I was at a restaurant eating. So I finally gave it a shot and tried the sushi, and I never turned back. It was very good. And then the Mexican sushi, like that's my real favorite thing because I'm not like super hardcore like traditional sushi, but the stuff that I had last time was very good. And I wonder if they have sushi here.
No.
Well, I'm sure we'll enjoy some fine food here regardless.
Very much.
I'm guessing you would not have chose this restaurant
if it wasn't good enough.
So yes, it meets the Ainhoa standard. Is this like your favorite place to go to?
I actually recently came and for the first time. This was my friend's choice for her birthday brunch.
Okay.
And I loved her all. The service, the food looked fantastic. The drinks were amazing. Everything, the flavor, the whole experience was really good. When I go to brunch, I like not just to enjoy the meal, but the whole environment and the vibe and the music, the people around. And it just felt home in a way, right?
It kind of does have that.
Right, it does,
like,
right?
I already feel at home with you. To be honest with you, I feel like we're at like one of our apartments or condos right now, just like relaxing.
Plus it's very, like the look, I love the green mixed with like the woods. It's kind of like organic and natural feeling. So all of it helps with the feeling home.
Yeah, there's a mood in here, and it's a mixed mood, but in a good way.
Well, because the owner and chef is also half Spanish from Spain, so that might have something to do with it.
Okay, well, you guys have that in common then. Did you live close to each other in Spain, or just?
No. I actually found out that he was from Spain here, as I was having brunch, because he actually, one of the people that were sitting in the table, he knew him. He knew Anthony. So that's pretty much maybe the reason why they chose to be here. And then I really enjoyed the time that we had here, and we just decided to, when you told me the idea, I'm like, I think this is the perfect place.
I think so too.
And I'm really happy that you're gonna get to try because it's really good.
I'm excited, and I wasn't really that hungry before I got here, but now I'm starting to get hungry.
I am starving.
I'm still gonna only have maybe half a meal. I do have a closing after this, so I don't want to be like falling asleep at the closing. But yeah, no.
You have espresso? Didn't you drink coffee?
I've never actually had espresso. I don't think.
Espresso is very. Well, America does it too, but very Italian thing or Spanish thing to do after eating, like your meal in the afternoon. First of all, our lunch is later in the day. It's not at noon or 11:30 or 1. It comes later, and then you have a little coffee after eating, kind of like to push again for the continue working with your day.
I wonder if for me, like if I try it today, I might have a little.
Oh, you're gonna be really hype. You might not want to do that.
I know. I don't want to be driving to the closing like 90 miles an hour. Like, I got to get there now. I got to get there on time.
And then your mouth is like, the pressure is like,
I think maybe just a little bit of coffee. To be honest with you, I was thinking about having a nice cup of coffee as soon as I sat down.
Cappuccino. I had a cappuccino here, actually. It was really good. Yeah. Because we were like brunch is kind of like longer, and it's kind of breakfast also. So I did have a drink and also a cappuccino, and it was very good.
So, when you came here for brunch, is that a weekend thing? Do they do like a weekend brunch? Is it Saturday and Sunday?
Yes,
or just
Saturday and Sunday. And I mean, I love going for brunch in the weekends, usually when I don't have open houses, or I try to do it before or after. But I try to like do it at least once a month to see my friends also, because you need a balance in your life. And I do want to see my friends often. Yeah,
I don't blame you. I talked about in some of the previous episodes about time blocking.
Yes.
It's super important.
Very.
It's like if there's something you haven't done in a while, like what I've been doing now is I try to calendar 2 months out. And then I try to do like a half hour, an hour each week to just maybe tweak the calendar if there's something I need to subtract off their time that I had blocked for something, or maybe add something in. So I've been trying to like each week kind of like do a review of what happened, and then kind of look at the week ahead and make those adjustments. But most of the time I'll be booked up this week for the following week already. So that's kind of how my calendar works. But I've been trying to do like 2 months out to make sure that I'm making time for the things that I haven't done in a while, or things that I should be doing on a consistent basis. When it comes to like business events that we're networking at, those I already have blocked off on the calendar. So we have each month. And by the way, you should start going to the Chicago Association of Realtors
The
Young
breakfast?
Professional Breakfast.
Yes,
I just saw
it
some
was
of your colleagues
yesterday,
there.
right? I just couldn't do it. I was trying to catch up after coming back from the trip,
Yeah.
and I really tried, but I couldn't. I needed to do some videos and stuff for my new listings, so I really couldn't make it, but I will by the next month.
Yeah, and I understand just coming back from Thailand. For those of you folks who don't know it, we're going to be talking about it shortly. Ainhoa just came back from Thailand. She is truly an international professional. She was on a trip for a wedding for a friend of hers, so this was not business, but a true international professional nonetheless.
Well, yeah, I did take the business over there a little bit. No.
A little bit, I'm sure.
A little bit, yeah. No,
I know we were even texting about
right.
this.
No, totally. I was following up, but I had great people here working, like for me, like helping out.
Shout out to Laura. I saw she was helping out. Who else was helping out?
Andre, because he's co-listing another. I had help here, which was absolutely beautiful and helpful. Otherwise, in this career, it's really hard to take some time off, or especially now, right about starting the busy market, and it was just not the perfect timing. But I'm really happy that these amazing people could help, and I'm very grateful for that. And the time in Thailand was gold.
Well,
Beautiful.
maybe we'll take some of those folks who helped you while you're gone here one day, and we could all break some bread.
Yes.
So for the lunch here, do they do like mimosas, or is it coffee, or what?
So in brunch time, yes, they do mimosas, and they have different flavors. And they have other cocktails too, and obviously the Bloody Mary. Those are like drinks for brunch. During the week, I have never been here during the week, like Monday to Friday. So I'm not sure if they do have. Maybe, I mean, they can make it for sure. I believe so. If you wanted it, yeah, it's in the menu.
Yeah, you might be able to make like a brunch reservation if you wanted to do it. In fact,
right.
Maybe you do like a Wednesday, so it's right in the middle of the week where you have like the beginning of the week to get ahead, and then catch up on Thursday and Friday and take that brunch time during the week. Because if you were doing brunch on this side, you might have the whole place to yourself, which is nice. Quiet time to focus with your friends. It already has that homey feel. There is another side to the restaurant. A little bit different of a feel over there, a little darker, a little more woody, a little like smoky and relaxed. I like that too.
It has the open kitchen, so you can see, what's happening.
It's natural.
Yeah.
You're sitting there watching the food being cooked. You can smell it.
It's a little bit more private, like maybe have a reunion with friends, or a work, meeting, or like that, like us.
Or breaking bread. Yeah, it's perfect for that.
It's gonna be like the place to be.
So when they do the brunches on the weekend, do they like have a buffet thing, or is it?
Usually they have different like menu from whatever the menu is, like always, like lunch and dinners. They have a separate menu for brunch with the same thing, appetizers. Usually it goes like, it's kind of like everything with eggs, like egg benedict. They have actually had something with steak. I forgot the name. I'll have to check the menu. But I really, really, really liked it. The steak was beautifully done, like really, really crispy outside a little bit, very juicy in the inside. I usually like it like medium.
Me too.
Rare. So it was just perfect. Very, very nice. It melts in your mouth. Let's put it that way. So I really enjoyed it. But yeah, they do have the brunch menu specifically just for brunch. It's not available.
Might have sold me on this.
It's not available.
Steak.
You have to do it. You have to do it. Maybe they have it now today. I'm not sure. But brunch for sure is weekends.
I mean, you sold it very well. Like you made it sound like the
has
secret
hash
ingredient.
browns, and they were like really, really good. Really good.
You made it sound like the secret ingredient was magic. Like they were just working magic back there. So, one thing that makes you unique, at least to me, is that you're the only person that I know personally who has rode not only an elephant, but more than one elephant. So how was that like? How did you get on the elephant? Who helped you? Like, how was this? What was it all about?
So, first of all, we actually did 3 different days, different activities with elephants, like in different places, different cities. And my favorite, I would say, my favorite time was in Krabi with the elephants, because we got to not just going in the water with them and hanging out in the water and playing, but also we did a hike. They have this amazing, super big place where they just walk by themselves. There is no chains. They're free. They're actually
Even
rescue the elephants.
The ones that you ride too, they just
Yeah.
and they're like used to the
They're
local
trained.
people.
They are with locals and they're trained to be in contact with people too. To be honest with you, it's safer. At least that's what I want to believe. It is, and the locals told us this too. It is safer for elephants in some areas to actually be in some sort of captivity, more than just like free like that, because they can get hunted if they were totally free. So they have huge spaces where they just hang out and everything, but it's supervised. They're sort of kept, in captivity. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they do hang out with people. We feed them. They can eat a lot of bananas. I was very, very surprised. Like a lot. When I say a lot, it's like they could just take all of them, like all the time, all day. And I'm like, their stomach is not gonna feel good at the end. Because it was like a lot of it.
Well, yeah, a lot.
Yeah.
Like,
But
they just fall over and go to sleep for a few hours?
No, they just hang out. And if you hang out with them in the water and you happen to have bananas too, they will be happy to. They were just grabbing bananas, and it was just very, very cute. But yeah, no, the hike, I actually was with a grandma. She was 57. Her name was Seawood. And I really, really had a connection with that elephant. It was humongous, like the biggest one, with kind of like dots in her trunk.
Trunk.
Yeah. And we did in the hike. We kind of like her and we stayed like at the back a little bit. And I was afraid. The only thing I was afraid about elephants is that they can step on you, like it will break your foot in like 1,000 pieces because they're super heavy, right? So I slid a little bit. And I was right next to her, and my fear was, oops, like she's gonna step on me. She waited, like until I kind of like recover myself from the being slippery that area, and she waited for me, and then we continued to walk. And they're very intelligent and very sweet and very, very nice. It's like better than people, to be honest with you, at some point.
I know what you mean. I believe you 100%. So, were you riding an elephant during the hike?
No, in that hike, no. We did our first time with elephants. We did go riding like on the elephant for like a long time, maybe about 15-20 minutes, like on them. And then the other time I was on elephants, like riding them, it was in the ocean. But just for
I saw that.
Right, a little bit. But they catapult you. Like it's kind of like playing with them. They hug you with the trunk. And literally, you are high enough to jump on their back or in their neck. So I was trying to like find the way that the spot that they wouldn't hurt them. Right? They're very strong. You're not gonna hurt them with your own weight. But I was trying to find like the actual spot where we're not like very bony or whatever, that they will have a little fat or the muscles so they can sustain better. So I was kind of like, when I found them, like, okay, we're here, and immediately she did like, and we're flying in the air. It was there for like about 30 minutes, playing in the water with those that day. And the other days we were like showering with a bucket. That was in the one that we did the hike. That was the one with batting them. And we did an amazing time. 3 different days with elephants.
So they like toss you around in the water and like play like it's a... that interaction must have been very, very unique, right? Because
very much.
You're interacting with them because first of all, elephants are smart, right? They're like kind of like similar to dolphins, maybe not that smart because I understand they're one of those.
I've never been an elephant or a dolphin. I don't know which is different, but I think elephants are very intelligent too.
They are. So it must have been weird. You're like, I'm human and you're an elephant, but we're interacting as if we're like almost the same, right? Exactly. And that's got to be a unique experience that I'm sure there's not many places in the world where you get that. Now, for the local people who live there, is that normal to them, or are they just like you, that they always like to interact with the elephants too?
It was amazing, very, very cute. Like in the last place that we did the hike, there was a baby. There was a baby elephant, 6 or 7 months old, and the baby was playing hide and seek with the local. Like literally hide and seek. The guy, the local, he takes care of them and trains them and everything. But he literally just decided to run and hide behind a bush during the hike, and the elephant was kind of like trying to find him. It was so cute. Like you will have a pet dog, same thing. They're just interacting. They're free, and I do personally like that place, the last one specifically, for another reason. The people that were taking care of the elephants, they are actually ex-victims of human trafficking. So it was a double cost. You know what I mean? Those elephants were rescued, and the actual people that were taking care of them, they were rescued as well.
Damn, they have that like
my heart
in
is like,
common.
look at the skin.
You know what I mean? That they've both been through some traumatic
Right.
experiences.
Yeah.
That's really interesting.
It's a roller coaster of emotions. It's kind of like very painful. Like if you think deep that what these people have gone through. At the same time, it was very rewarding that they are out, that they can, and they were happy. They really seemed very happy to, I mean, they vocalized it to us. They were very thankful for having people over, because when we pay obviously for the tour, right? And that money goes obviously to take care of the elephants, to take care of that beautiful place, and for them to make a living, to be able to stay there. So it was very, very nice. I'll send you the link if you want to donate or you want to cooperate. I actually want to get more into this, get more information, and maybe be able to help out a little bit more.
Yeah, that's interesting. I was actually going to ask, but you answered my question. Was if they charge, like, that's how they make a living from the tourism and stuff like that. But is it a lot there for them? Like, can they survive on it?
That's another thing that that I found out about Thailand. Like, usually they don't own their businesses. Thai people, it's usually foreign people that they come with money, because obviously we come with dollars, and $1 is like so much more, worth in Thai baht is the currency. And I see that they're happy though. They seem really happy. But they do have, they're not the owners of their land in a way. You know what I mean? So all these places, most of them were owned by foreign people, and then they have just people working there. It's not abusive, especially that one. It's a charity cause. You know what I mean? So it's a sanctuary for elephants, and these people are taking care of them, and they make it enough to make a living. And I mean, they were looking great. You know what I mean? I don't know. I didn't get into details. First of all, because language barrier, they don't really talk much English. So it was kind of like
a lot of body language communication. Yeah. Thank you so
I
much. Or like, I'm gonna get on the elephant. Okay.
I was using 2 words all the time, or 2 sentences. One of them was thank you to everything, to everyone, just with your hands, right? And it was like this. You put it here, and it was kapunka. For man is, or for male, is kapun kap, with P at the end, like sounded. And then the other one was top me, like it's high five. Top me, like
top me.
Top me.
Top me.
Top me. And everyone will understand that.
I just learned the Taiwanese language.
And that was it. I just needed to do a smile, because that's another thing. Thailand is the land of the smile. Indeed. They finish every sentence with a smile. I'm totally taking that.
America, take notes. You should end every sentence with a smile.
Yes.
Even if you're yelling at the guy in traffic, get the hell out of my lane. If you end it with a smile, it doesn't seem so bad.
Showing teeth, like biggest smile. It was very, very unique.
So you went to Thailand for a friend's wedding?
Correct.
Why, or like, how did they choose Thailand?
So they love traveling, both of them. They are both of them from here, from the United States, but they like to travel a lot. Europe, they went to Africa. Actually, he proposed in Africa 2 years ago on another wedding from another friend. And he proposed on a beautiful sunset boat, right? And then they just decided to find a destination wedding, because they just wanted to keep traveling, and they thought it was a unique spot, because they also love nature. And that's Thailand is beautiful nature-wise too. So they chose that because of that. The connection with animals. We would see tigers. There were monkeys everywhere, cats, and then people. Like, there were tons of cats, especially in Krabi, in one of the regions. And yeah, they just chose to be somewhere different, far away, with nature, beautiful food, and it was nice that they chose that, because that pushed some of us to actually make the decision and the initiative to. If it was for me, yes, it was in my bucket list, but it was more like them making the decision. So I'm very grateful. Yeah.
That they chose there. Yeah, because when I looked at the pictures, I thought to myself, I said, this is either like a Disney World for adults in nature, or it's just like heaven. Like some of the pictures,
Both.
even on just probably a cell phone camera, unless the quality
You
was so
asked
good.
me about-
Was it a professional camera or a photographer?
Nope, that was my. I'm not gonna say the brand. No, it was the iPhone XS, and I did portrait mode for most of the pictures. So it's kind of like the lighting. To be honest with you, no matter what phone, you will have taken great pictures because just the light, the sunlight, the sky, the green of the nature. I mean, it's just the colors and everything will just make it pop. Everything is about flowers also, and they have a lot of yellow flowers and red. So all together mix, it will just make it pop. It doesn't matter what phone you use.
Well, Apple, we just said some good things about the picture quality on the new iPhone here. So if you want to sponsor Breaking Bread with Brian, we'd love it. Otherwise, you're getting free publicity. Come on, help us out, break some bread here. Because the pictures were so rich. Like, it was like just beautiful portrait quality color that was coming out of there.
Really? Yeah.
So I guess it was just a combination of how good the picture quality was, but also the natural surroundings. I mean, the water and stuff, like some of the pictures you took were so pure. Very unique destination, because I'm sure when you're going that far away, like you can go down to South America and places here, but when you're going as far away as Thailand, you feel like, wow, I'm in a different destination altogether. Is this even planet Earth still? Like I'm all the way that far away, and it's incredibly beautiful. Did you guys have a wedding like on the beach?
Yes. And
Like
I'm
white
going to
sand?
show you those pictures too. Actually, she just got the pictures from the actual photographer because we did have a photographer for the wedding. She obviously booked it for her wedding pictures. And we had the wedding. To be honest with you, it has been the most beautiful venue and place for a wedding I have ever seen. And actually, the whole wedding, it was beautiful. I've never been in an American wedding to start with, so I didn't know about like bridesmaid going with the friend of the groom. You know, all these. I didn't know none of that.
Really? That was your first time
Yeah.
even seeing that?
I did see it in the movies.
It's pretty cool, right?
Yeah, I saw it in the movies and I thought it was fake. But then actually people do it, and our dresses were beautiful. Everyone getting ready together, like a private villa that we had for everybody, which was very good. And yeah, it was like the beach, and there was a little bit of grass, and they put like this beautiful art, like with flowers. It was the sunset. I mean, you name it, everything. There was a fire show. Like the fire show was.
Doing fire show, yeah.
That's an understatement. That was, I didn't know where all these lighters were coming from. It was beautiful, beautiful. I'll show you pictures. I'll post pictures.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
I went to a beach wedding for the first time back in August of 2018. One of my good friends that I worked with before law school had his wedding in Fort Myers, right on the beach.
Where?
So Fort Myers, Florida. I should have been more specific. Florida, yes.
I'm not from here.
It's really nice. Well, I should be more specific for the viewers too, because there might be more than one Fort Myers out there. It could be one in like Ohio or something too. I don't think there is, but there could be. It sounds like a common name, but it was really cool. So we were fortunate. I didn't know that our friends had a place in Fort Myers, so we were telling them like, "Oh yeah, we're going down to Florida for a wedding. Where are you going? We're going to Fort Myers." They're like, "Do you want to stay at our place?" So I just pay the cleaning bill like before you leave, and you can just stay there. We're like, "Okay, cool." So I didn't know what to expect when I went down there. Like, but the local places all had good food too. So I was thinking like, it might be like weak bar food that you just get down there, and it's kind of it. But they were using really good quality. The food was delicious. The wedding was really nice. It was very hot on the beach though. Like it was like 1,000 degrees, and they were giving away bottles of water, and like they had the fans that collapse out where you can like fan yourself, which probably only makes you hotter because you're using all that body heat to like, that you're generating by fanning yourself. But we all had like, the gentlemen had like little kerchiefs that they could dab their brow with. But it was really cool. We took a lot of pictures there, and shout out to Anthony Humphrey, my guy, and to Samantha, his lovely wife. What a great wedding that was. They had a really cool reception for the wedding.
Oh, nice.
So they had a nice hall. It wasn't huge, wasn't too big, wasn't too small. They had a pig roast for the catered in for the wedding.
Wow.
And some people might be like, oh my God, like pig, like that sounds disgusting. It was delicious because the company came in and they like cut up the hog and they like did pulled pork. And they had all sorts of like shrimp, cocktail type of food with it and everything. Lovely. And the flavor was just incredible. So I'm probably making us hungry. We'll go for another couple minutes. And
I was going to say, I'm like, whoa. That sounds delicious.
So do you know why, and this is coming from a lawyer, so you might be able to guess, why they have the bride and the groom's parties where there's like the groomsmen and the bridesmaid and the maid of honor?
That's a very good question. I don't have a clue.
They actually serve a legal purpose.
For real? Like witnesses?
Yes.
Oh, all of them?
Not all of them. So I think years ago, many years ago, when the country started, if you were going to do a marriage, you would need a witness so that there was no dispute about, whether there was an agreement to be married or not. It would be like, it would be crazy if somebody could just say, I don't know, who's like a big male movie star right now?
Oh, Will Smith, all times.
Will Smith?
Of course.
Could you imagine if somebody could just say, like back in the day before there was all the social media and cable TV and all this, that I'm married to Will Smith? So they always had witnesses there to say like, no, I saw the marriage and it was valid and whatever have you. Oh. I think they only needed one for each side, maybe two, but now it became more of like a tradition. But originally they served a legal purpose in the proceedings. So you had witnesses to say that they were in fact legally married. Yeah.
Okay, I mean, we do have in Spain. They do have the witnesses too, and you pick them literally to be your witness. But we don't have the whole crew.
Yeah, but it makes it so much fun, right?
Yeah, we enter like for the reception after the ceremony was done. We went in like that and dancing and it was really cool. I really liked it.
So was the reception on the beach where you were dancing?
Yes.
Man. How did you ever come back here? Like you're just like, I think I'm gonna stay.
I know. No, like I will have a destination wedding like that too. Mm-hmm.
So you were originally from Spain.
Yes.
Which part of Spain?
Córdoba, in the south of Spain.
And you said you came here to America about 6 years ago?
Yeah, 2012.
Kind of a big difference between Spain and here, I would guess, right?
Yes. Very different, very different. It was just one of those random decisions. The economic crisis was really like hitting Europe in general, Spain, Portugal, and Greece specifically. And I was starting on my life. I didn't want to finish university and then now what? Like go back to my house and try. No, I needed to be able to help my family and also like make a living myself. Like I was ready to work. I was ready to do things. And just randomly, I saw these little advertising, like how to become an au pair and live in the U.S. with an American family. And at that time, I needed to improve in my English speaking. And I said, you know what? I don't have money for a tutor 24/7 with me. So why I don't go and get exposed to the culture and be 24/7 surrounded by the language, right? So that's pretty much how I made the decision to come here. And it was 2012.
I see, yeah, and I know what you mean because years ago when the whole like economy crash hit the whole world, it was bad here too. I remember particularly, as you mentioned, in Europe, I think even Ireland was having issues there. Mm-hmm. Spain and Greece, especially Greece, they had a lot of like public debt, I believe, and unfortunately, a lot of those governments were investing in mortgage-backed securities that went south here. So their funds were either directly invested into these securities, or they were into funds that had these securities in there, like a pool of investments or assets, and that's what was dragging those governments down at the time. It was really crazy. I really hope that we don't ever see that again.
I do too.
I know they're talking about tightening up standards here on certain loans and things like that, which is probably for the best, because that's what led to this. And I was in a foreclosure case recently, and I was sitting in the courtroom, and I was like, the banks that are selling these properties, they make a loan. If the person gets foreclosed, a lot of times those banks will actually buy those properties back at the auction, and then the same rehabbers who fixed them up will buy them back and just sell them back to the same people. So that's why I think there really needs to be a check in what type of loans are given out, so you don't see those crazy debt to income ratios, or like a very like not enough income or not enough down, things like that, just so that we have a sustainable market where we don't have to worry about like that type of crash. Because there's always going to be ups and downs, but you don't want to see something that extreme again. So it was much more laid back in Spain, like because you said you eat dinner later and everything. Yeah.
Yes, everything is it kind of like start later. Work is start a little bit later. I would say it started a little bit later. Our time for lunch is later. It's around 2:30. It's a good time for lunch, p.m. And then you probably have a snack or whatever, and then dinner is usually around 10 p.m. In the summertime, sometimes it's not that.
Did you guys have nap time?
What? Nap time? Yes. That's something that is not like that. We are not, you know what? I'm going to take advantage of this. We are not lazy people sleeping naps at siesta time. But this is for a reason now. It started for a reason. Spain, especially the south of Spain, is really hot, extremely hot. People actually died in the summertime if they were outside, right? Like in the July and August, it's really bad. Like people don't go out. That's why dinner is later. So
because it's nice
people
and cool
stop
by the
work.
time you're having
Actually,
dinner. Yeah.
Exactly. We don't work like full schedule like here with a little lunch break. No, we do a longer lunch break. That's when the siesta comes in, and then you go back to work. But then you're working until 8 or 9 p.m. You know what I mean? The schedule. That's why it's
a
just
different world, right?
Exactly.
The climate's different, so you have to adjust to that.
Because of the climate, we have to put that little nap time or reading time or downtime in your house or somewhere that is cool enough that you will not get sick or die. Like it's bad. But yeah, it's very famous. Everyone worldwide knows that. Oh yeah, siesta time in Spain,
but it's not just Spain though. I don't think. I think there's.
It started in Spain.
Oh,
I believe Saudi Italy too, because it's really hot too.
Well, Greece, I think too.
Well, yeah.
I mean, when I say like
Spain, I mean like the whole Mediterranean, pretty much.
Yeah.
Because of the temperatures. The temperatures are very, very hot. I'm talking about like over 100. And it started maybe around noon up to like 7 p.m. It's that hot. Like it's really hot.
España. I know.
When are you visiting?
I mean, seeing some of the pictures you posted when you visited makes me want to go, but I also want to go to Thailand. So now I got two places. Who knows? The thing is, this workaday life that we have, it's just so busy all the time.
Yes.
And the reason I ask about nap time is because I'm a little jealous, to be honest with you. Like not that I'm like, my body's adjusted to not needing like afternoon sleep. But who knows, I'm getting older.
But it would be nice. It would be nice, right?
It would be cool. It would be cool in just the sense that there's always this pressure here to work. Like if a boss here hears about nap time, he's like, nap time? What? You're fired. Get out of here. Like that's not even a thing. Like, you know what I mean? So like here it would be viewed as like a lazy behavior, but there it's just natural because that's a natural part of life based on the climate and things
Absolutely.
like that.
And it's also, in a way, I do agree with the nap time. You can sleep or not, it's your downtime. But then here, corporate America, it's 9 to 5, right? So for us, you actually start work, especially in the summertime, you start work at 4 or 5 p.m. and then you're working up until 9. We do work the same hours, just like we have a break in the middle.
Yeah.
And that break in the middle, you can see your friends during the day, you can go and eat somewhere, you can relax and take a nap, you can do some reading, some yoga, exercise, whatever. It's like a break, you refresh your mind, you refresh your body, and then you go back to work. It's not like all rushing 9 to 5.
So how long is the break when you have it? An hour, 2 hours?
So it's maybe from like 1:30 until 4, or like from 2 until 5. Maybe like 2 hours and a half, 3 hours maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good deal.
Depending also on the companies too. We have a lot of multinationals, like and a lot of like international companies that they do not adapt to that. So maybe just give you an hour and a half. A little bit of time to just not like 20 minutes eat and then you feel like, oh my God, I gotta go back to work.
Yeah, the pressure of like,
yeah.
Oh my God, I only have 20 minutes left to eat like my food, and then get right back to it. I'm my own boss, so like the nice thing is that I could eat when I want, but I usually end up just not eating. So anyway, but I do have the food. I order meals and I get healthy meals prepared for me for the most part. I did have tacos yesterday, but you gotta have tacos once in a while. Speaking of which, speaking of food, we'll stop and take a quick break, order our food, and once we get the order in, we'll pick it back up because I think there's still a lot of good content, a lot of good stuff to talk about here into our food.
Top me. Top me.
So we're back here, ladies and gentlemen.
Where?
Fresh drinks in our cup. Food is ordered and it is on the way. I'm gonna just give you a little hint at what I'm getting. I'm just gonna tell you straight out what it is. The chef here just recommended the Philly cheesesteak, and it's like the guy read my mind, even though I didn't even know I wanted that. But as soon as he said it, I didn't have to think about it. What'd you go with, Ainhoa?
Eggplant caprese. Yeah, it's gonna have. I mean, that's how we describe it a little bit. It just, I think it's gonna be very, very crispy, and then kind of like fresh ingredients, vegetables. I love the tomatoes. I mean, I'm from the south of Spain. We grow our own vegetables, and I'm used to getting a lot of tomatoes. So I'm excited for the mix of the tomato sauce, homemade tomato sauce, with eggplants, with arugula, some balsamic. So I think it's gonna be delicious. I mean, I'm sure.
It sounds like it's gonna be like an explosion of flavor.
Yeah.
There's so many things mixed in there to accent each other and to make it all like smooth and tasty. So it's eggplant on like a bed of vegetables then? Or?
No, I think it's gonna be like a kind of like a lasagna, but it's not pasta. It's eggplant.
Okay.
That's what I think it's gonna be.
We'll see.
You'll try it.
I'm sure it's going to be a
Obviously, it
pleasant
has
surprise.
cheese in it, so it's not that healthy if we are counting calories here. But I think it's going to be very fresh, very delicious. You can try it.
You know, when I first started thinking about like Weight Watching and stuff, I was always thinking about like, you know, being very strict with it. And I think, you know, it all depends on what works, because like certain things work for certain body types or certain people. So I find like, first of all, for me, portion control is huge, or like, you know, portion limiting. I try not to eat like the whole meal, maybe save half of it and have that later, because I feel like if I overload my system all at once, it really weighs me down, and it just kind of like I'm focused on
your
that.
metabolism.
It does, you know, and if I just eat a, you know, maybe a half portion, it keeps it burning, it's constantly working, and it just makes you feel better. Another thing that I've been doing is like, you know, like eating within a certain window of the intermittent fasting. That seems to help too.
Okay.
So like if I eat now, I probably, you know, I have maybe another 6-7 hours to eat, and after that I will try to be done. But I think as long as you keep, you know, the calorie intake somewhat low, it's not huge. Like I was watching a video with a Harvard geneticist, and he was kind of saying like, what you eat doesn't matter so much as like the timing of you, when you're eating, and like how long you eat for. So it's all depends on what works. Some that does not work for some people. There's a million different diets out there. There's like the carnivore diet. Some people are big on that, and then there's the, you know, like paleo or keto. You know, and there's just like vegetarian and vegan. Are you vegetarian at all?
No.
No. Okay. I was just wondering.
No, I mean, I love vegetables, and I eat a lot of vegetables, but no, I love my meat too.
Well, yeah, you mentioned steak earlier. What am I talking about? How silly of me. I forget earlier. You're telling me.
No, but I could be vegetarian now. When I had the steak, maybe I wasn't. It's okay.
That's exactly why I was thinking along those lines, because sometimes, like, one of your colleagues at Rock is a vegetarian. So
yes. Martha. She's Martha
Mendoza. She's a vegetarian.
She is mostly vegan. I would say
really?
she eats like very purely vegetables and legumes and things that the earth gives you. So shout out to her.
Good. Yeah, shout out to her. The whole Realty of Chicago crew, from Eddie to David to Maggie, everybody. We love you guys. But yeah, shout out to Martha, and good for her too. I think it probably takes a lot of discipline.
It does.
I mean, especially in this crazy lifestyle, right? You have an appointment, or you're leaving from one place going to another, and
in our office we have food all the time.
Just like sandwiches,
I just hide.
And tacos and stuff.
Yeah, tacos, sandwiches, pizzas. You know, you name it. Like everything. It doesn't matter. Or happy hour, or everyone is so welcoming. Thinking of, you know, let me thank my people with bringing donuts. I'm like, I just don't want to look at them.
Yeah, it's crazy though, because the donuts are, you know, you commonly.
It's easy to pick and grab and go.
You grab and go.
Yeah.
And the funny thing you mentioned that is, I got a Dunkin' Donuts on the ride here. So.
Oh, you did?
I got a coffee, so I didn't get any donuts. But that leads me in. I was thinking about getting some donuts.
You put cream in your coffee, didn't you?
I do.
Sugar?
No.
Okay.
No, just cream, because I feel like the cream sweetens it up enough already where I don't need sugar. Yeah. I really don't like to add sugar into things too much. most of the stuff we have as far as salt
It has already sugar.
or sugar, it already has enough in the stuff you're eating. You don't really need to.
Right.
A lot of Americans do though. You'll see salt shakers on like every table, and people, oh, you only put it on there. It's
Right.
like you realize the chef already did that before he even brought it out to you.
Yeah.
But I was in Dunkin' Donuts because when I drive, I like to have that like nice hot cup of coffee right there, right? Like it puts me in the damn zone. I'll be on 55 on one of the expressways, windows cracked a little bit. It's spring now. It's a lovely spring day here in Chicago.
It really is.
You know, the wind's coming in. I got that little breeze, but then that coffee to warm me up. I got on 104.3, but not too high. Because I used to listen to volume. I mean, maybe when the really hot weather comes, I'll have the volume turned up so loud that it's like, all right, you're being a little extra. Yeah, almost like, yeah. It's like, am I doing damage to my ears? But now, like, it's still that calm, like, spring peaceful time. So I keep it where it's like easy listening, you know, a nice low volume, nothing alarming. It keeps me calm in the car. I'm looking at, like, there could be two people fighting out on the street, and I'm just like, oh man, it sucks, but the fight says stay, but the green light says go. I'll see you guys later. Don't kill each other out there, and I just take off. Everything's peaceful in my car, you know, no matter, it could be Armageddon outside of it. I got that radio on, the coffee, it's all good. So cheers. So glad we did this, and I'm looking forward to having you on the podcast.
I will. I'm super excited. I love this. I'm
going to start a new website for the podcast called tyrannymedia.com. So I have tyrannylegal.com, and that'll be more related for my law stuff. Although I do put the Breaking Breads on there. You can get them on my website too. They're all linked up from YouTube to there. But I plan on calling it Brian Tierney's Positive Vibes Podcast. But, you know, Renee threw out the idea of maybe like the Tyranny Files, or it might be guest dependent, because I know like a lot of the podcasters out there will have like a specific edition that they do. Like it could be like one is if they're watching like a competition, they'll do a companion for that where they're all talking about like, oh, that was a great move there or whatever, and they'll commentate on that.
Right.
Or if it's just a general conversation of Breaking Bread, here we are.
That was this is fabulous.
And picture perfect too on top of it all.
Look at this. I'm gonna take a picture. Are we in camera? That's fine.
It's all good. Thank you, sir. Oh my goodness.
You know,
oh my goodness. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So one of my dreams for the future is actually, I need to work on my business plan for that. I am going to open a restaurant, so just so you know. So I do take pictures of food, and I really look at the flavors and everything. Yeah, please. That's good. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
So I need to take a picture for the gram.
Go for it.
And now you ask me, how do you do the picture? You go in portrait mode. And I do usually either natural light or contour light. Now this is class on Instagram, pictures. And then usually I put the drink kind of like close by.
Because it's well-rounded.
Right.
We have our drink and our meal. Something lovely to wash it down with.
Yeah, so. Perfect. Perfect.
It is perfect. In fact, you should give that to Anthony and tell him, hey, here's a little memento
They
for
take
the website.
very good pictures. Now they're like putting a lot of more media, and I'm like, it's a beautiful place. Like, I want people to know more about it.
Yeah, and the area is nice too. It's not.
The area is nice.
Like,
very, very nice.
It seems like there's a good bit of cars here, but it's not like too. It doesn't have that like congested feel to it.
Right.
It's just, at least now at this time of day, maybe everybody's working or at school or something.
It's very like just very residential. Very residential. A lot of neighbors. Let me get closer.
I know. I'm gonna get closer too, so we can dig in. I'm gonna take a picture of my food too.
Yours look really good too. It's a fancy cheese. How do you call it? Cheesecake? No.
Philly cheesesteak. Philly. Well,
it's a cheesecake. Oh my god.
We're not from Philly, it's Chicago, but it's also very popular here too because most of the people from Chicago like their steak and their cheese, and that's why we like Philly cheesesteaks. But I'm gonna take a picture of my phone, so maybe I can get another sponsor. The phone manufacturers are going to have to fight over sponsorships. That would be so cool if that actually happened. Which one do you have? This is not a phone you can get in stores. So this I bought directly from the manufacturer. This is the OnePlus 6 brand phone. So my attorney colleague, OnePlus.
Oh, OnePlus is the name?
of the company is OnePlus. This is number 6. So like you have like iPhone 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is the 6th edition.
It's really big. I like it.
It is, yeah, and it's super slim. It's the profile's really nice.
Nice.
One of my attorney colleagues recommended it to me because what I was sick of is getting these phones where you have like so many apps on there that you run out of storage space or the phone starts working slow. This comes completely clean, and you can transfer any apps you want from your old phone and get rid of the stuff you know that you don't want. So it's incredible, but the picture quality is really good. I'm gonna snap a shot here. I don't know how to do all these fancy filters, but this is such a contrast. I'm gonna show you the contrast here.
Green.
Ainhoa's food, nice and healthy, and then Brian's soaked in cheese and some French
I mean,
fries.
it's kind of like the eggplant is deep fried, so to make it crispy and nice. So it's not extremely healthy.
Yes,
Like, come on now.
I know.
I mean, we gotta, there is a
totally
balance.
wrong.
You just have to have a balance.
Because it's fried, but at the same time you have more vegetables than I do, so I guess that's a little healthier, but it's all good. I'm glad you mentioned your dreams too about like opening up a restaurant, and I know you'll achieve that. Because I was going to ask you about goals and hobbies and things like that, but what we'll do is we'll take a bite here for the camera. We'll wrap it up and tell folks about some additional goals and hobbies. And I don't know if you want to let the name or anything like that out yet. That's
For my restaurant?
I
No.
probably want to keep it a secret.
Yeah, and I don't want to talk more details about it
Okay.
because it's actually a very new concept.
Okay.
And I don't want people to take it. We're off camera right now.
No, we're on camera. But
Okay.
we won't tell any details.
Okay.
But you don't mind at least the part about the restaurant being.
No.
Okay.
That's fine.
All right.
All right, bon appetit.
Okay, let's see what we have here. So we're digging in here. Ainhoa's going to take a bite or two and let us know what she's experiencing and tasting from the lovely eggplant.
You have to try it. You
I
like
will try a
eggplant?
piece.
It is delicious, and I like that it's very thin. The eggplant, so you can actually not get the whole mouth just with eggplant. You actually have a bite of all fresh ingredients too.
Blend it together.
Blend it together.
That's the way it
and
brings
kind
out
of
the
like
most
put it
flavor.
yes, and you have enough piece of eggplant in your mouth to taste it really nicely, but it's not overpowering anything. It's leaving the rest of the ingredients do their job. So
Mable's
love
table,
it.
you're keeping it perfect over here. Perfect.
I love it, and I love the touch of the balsamic. I mean, personally, I have a crush on balsamic to start with, so it's pretty intense. And then Parmesan, and oh my God, it's delicious.
And I could actually hear the lovely crunch
Right?
off the eggplant when you bit in. Like I could hear it.
Exactly.
It's probably just bursted with that like buttery, crispy flavor.
Yeah.
I'll take a little bit too. And then if you want, I'll cut you a piece off. Go ahead and try.
That's gonna be crazy.
I'll cut you a little piece. No?
Not today.
Okay.
I'll come and order myself too, because I still want to keep part of my lipstick on.
Yeah.
And no, just kidding. But I'm gonna try to stick to this. I'm gonna have a really crazy dinner too, so I don't want to.
There you go.
Oh yeah, there we go. the crispy eggplant,
Yes.
the crumbs stay somewhere.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying?
Your lipstick is fine. You don't have to worry about that. Check it out before you leave, but I think you're good to go.
I'll use the restroom before I go. That's what women do.
All right, folks. Philly cheese here.
It looks marvelous.
It does. It's like perfectly rolled up. So like the bread is really thin, so it looks like they just carved it out into a thin layer, got rid of a lot of the bread.
Is it
You don't have
bread?
to ask where the beef is here because it is full from top to bottom. And it's like perfectly rolled in. Yeah, it's bread. It appears to be like a hoagie type of bread. The steak looks very, very good. And it's not like a lot of these Chicago places, there's so much like cheese and grease and juice in there. The bread's falling apart and like the beef is and the steak is like all outside the bread, and we don't have that here. So I'm gonna bite in and just see how this tastes.
Woohoo!
Super soft on the bread. I sank right in to the sandwich. All the steak on here is really lean, so it was very soft. And the cheese was so creamy, it just blended in with the steak.
Garcia.
The flavor is so good. I also have, I wasn't like big on pickles growing up, but I'm gonna add one of those to it too, just
Inside?
for a little flavor. Because those look like really good sandwich pickles there. And so I have also French fries here with some kind of like creamy mayo mustard type of thing right here.
It is delicious. That sauce is
Probably
delicious.
won't be able to see it from there, but it's got some nice seasoning in there. Very good too.
Wow.
The flavor is
Okay.
incredible. So, I do just want to say thank you again to Mable's Table for having us here to break bread. We're going to go ahead and dig in and really enjoy the food. Thank you again to Renee Costa from Full Bars Media. And thank you also very much to Ainhoa Garcia Jimenez.
Thank you.
Is there anything you want to tell the viewers before we leave? We can find you on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram.
Yeah, all social media platforms. Snapchat. Snapchat, if you want to see daily concerts, I do sing.
Okay.
Not good at all, but I love it. And
I didn't even
we
know
have
that.
long drives, so sometimes I listen to audiobooks, sometimes I listen to my crazy music and my bachata songs, so I end up singing. So Snapchat, I do a lot of singing and like serious stuff, but I also do real estate in that. The rest of platforms is purely real estate or traveling and fitness.
Perfect. I don't have Snapchat or I don't use it, so that's probably why I haven't seen that, but I will check it out for sure. So if you want to find Ainhoa, I know where you can find her. Under Ainhoa Garcia Jimenez.
Correct.
All three names for all social media platforms.
Yes.
Do you have a website at all too? Or
We have the Realty of Chicago, realtyofchicago.com/Ainhoa.
okay, so you can also find Ainhoa through Realty of Chicago's website.
Yes.
We are blessed, and we hope you stay blessed too. Until next time, we'll see you on the next episode of Breaking
Thank
Bread with
you.
Brian. Peace.